Issues of inequality, representation and condition of deep social inequality, stratification. Goals of this work. Demonstrate the limited suitability of generally accepted methods for graphically and numerically representing inequality. Show alternatives to conventional methods. What is wrong with inequality data? They are very incomplete. These both data by Eurostat and Federal Taxes Service, both are official, but very different. Who received 31 trillion rubles? The calculation of inequality is a comparison of the income of the rich with the income of the poor, but you can only compare values with the same error. The income of the rich are hidden, and the more successful, the more income, and errors are very, very big. However, few rich are public persons with a known income. Therefore, we know the weight of the income scale, but not the feeling of the rich cohorts. Therefore, our first requirement for the representation of inequality is the method shall be sensitive to the weight of the income scale for any arbitrarily small feeling of rich cohorts, or the method shall distinguish what is different. What is wrong with inequality data? You cannot trust any on source. Scientific facts are matched facts only. But income data is usually quantized. How to check their match? Therefore, the second requirement for the representation of inequality is the method must be insensitive to quantization, or the method shall not distinguish what is not different. The third requirement for representing inequality is for graphical methods only. The method shall be clear. Income distribution curves must be visually identifiable, have extremes, kinks. This will determine the mechanism of distribution of incomes in society. It is impossible by mathematical method to obtain information from the source data that is not the same, but it is possible not to lose the information that they have, and it is possible not get aberration. We have analyzed many different income distributions. Direct data about incomes were Eurostat data, maximal income 96,000 rubles per month, and Federal Taxes Service data about 1 billion rubles per month, and Forbes data, maximal income about 14 billion rubles per month. Indirect data were car prices distribution with different quantization, 24 and 15 cohorts, real estate prices data, and distribution of population by property of Credit Suisse Research Institute. So, graphical methods. Frequency polygons are valuable for their visibility. The mechanism of inequality of them is obvious. Social racist thinkers consider the individual characteristics of people to be cause of inequality and say people are born unequal. But all the physical and mental parameters of people are distributed according to the normal law, and only incomes are distributed according to the log normal law. It is a very large difference. In reality, inequality is inexplicably by individual characteristics of people. It is not the same course. A heavy-tail log normal distribution indicates the only cause of inequality. Non-equivalent transactions between the poor and the rich, that is rank exchange or Matthew effect. In order to see this, we need histograms, frequency polygons. This is their advantage. But frequency polygons depend on quantization. Frequency polygon distinguish what is not different. This is the same data. It is a problem because we have to work with data from different sources. Here are Lorentz curves for raw-state data and raw-state and forced data summary, but it's the same curve. Lorentz curves require complete data of filling of the rich cohorts, full complete data. There is no difference between 96,000 rubles per month and 14 billion rubles per month. Lorentz curves do not distinguish what is different. Requirement for inequality indices. These five are widely known. However, we believe that additivity is desirable but not necessary. Sixth requirement. Unconditional sensitivity to the weight of the income scale, even with incomplete data on filling rich cohorts. Seventh, the ability to calculate the inequality index for arbitrary quantization. Eighth, the invariance of the value of inequality index with different quantization of the same data. Comparison of inequality indices. The coefficient of funds cannot calculate this arbitrary quantization. The Gini index is not capable of not distinguish what is different. This value is the same. Also the Pareto index. There is no difference between 96,000 rubles per month and 40 billion rubles per month. Entropy indices, including the tail index, are very sensitive to quantization. They distinguish what is not different. This line and this line are the same. But this terms are different. Also, the ratio of maximal to model income. Therefore, we do not have a mathematical language to describe the existing deep inequality when 99 and 98 hundredths of a percent of society occupy 6,000ths of a percent of the income scale. And we were not the first to notice such a situation. An alternative are distribution functions. They are visual, like polygons or histograms, and make it possible to distinguish between a normal distribution and a log normal distribution. But they are better than polygons. They are insensitive to quantization and do not distinguish what is not different. Same data, much, same course. Distribution functions are better than Lorentz curves. They make it possible to distinguish raw-state data from raw-state and forced data summary. They distinguish what is different. Let us return to inequality indices. Only the intensity of the exponential distribution obtained by approximation the income distribution curve does not suffer from this disadvantage. Very different. This is not different. So, the conclusions are very simple. The preferred method for graphically representing inequality is distribution function. The preferred method for numerically representing inequality, deep inequality, is exponential distribution intensity. My colleague, Anna Ivanova, was planned as a speaker. She has impeccable English, alas, I don't. But her trip from Donetsk Republic, People's Republic, to Moscow was difficult. I do not perceive questions well by ear. It may be mistaken in my answers. I am sorry. But there is a way of this situation. Please ask questions in writing, and I will answer them very now.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Actually, this is a very important topic about the available data sets because the disadvantages of raw star data, RLMS data on inequality are well known due to the mismeasurement and incomplete coverage. So also, many studies rely on this data due to the lack of available alternatives. So this study used some of the alternative sources of the data. It's sources of internet website on selling car and estate, as well as official information to provide the better measure of inequality, as it was said. The sources used were Rostat, and Forbes. The website that is called avtopoisk.ru, and the website of estate and cars is called avito.ru, and the source of Credit Suisse. My main concerns are based on the data preparation, on the data coverage of what subsample was used. Was there any seasonal variation, and was it adjusted for it? Another concern was related to the main table, the main results with different inequality measures. So let's take a look. The table shows inequality based on Rostat data. This is household income-based inequality. Inequality with Forbes data is a wealth-based inequality. Credit Suisse data, wealth-based inequality with interval level data. Car estate price data, it's more likely expenditure-based inequality, or even expenditure on durables, or even asset-based inequality. So I'm not sure that it is correct to compare these different different definitions of inequality to have some conclusions about it. Some suggestions. I think that it's very promising to use internet data as one of the alternative resources, but this data needs more validations. You can use RLMS data on durables to compare some trends over time. Income inequality and asset-based inequality are different economic concepts, but in the same time, the study shows that it can be related. For example, McKinsey noted that in the absence of information, data on certain durable assets can be used a good proxy for living standards. So I think that the presentation has some good potential, but it should be improved in these ways. Thank you so much.
Can I answer? About RLMS data. About RLMS data. Though I have to use this data, but This work was made in 2015 years. And I know about RLMS data only in current year. I have to use RLMS data in my future work. But I know maximal income in RLMS data is about 400,000 rubles per month, no more. It is very, very small income. In deep inequality, we need data about very large incomes, about billions of rubles per month. About previous questions, how were the data prepared? I'm very sorry, this is very small presentation. I have any data, methodic prepared data, and compilation Rostat data with Forbes data, with Federal Taxes Service data. I have to show this methodic, no problem. But it is very large file in Excel. Maybe not here. But
you can explain later.
Okay.
Because you cannot go
Okay.
to many details. Are there any questions?
What period was covered? This data is about 2015 year. Federal Taxes Service data in last year is not published. This data is 2050 year. What subsample used? What is subsample? Под образец? Yeah. Season variation.
Let's move to the next presentation. So if some questions or some answers remain, you can discuss it afterwards.
Yeah, I have to make a large presentation.